O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show. This
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ADX. Only $299 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moodius Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodius.dental. Moodius Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodiusdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
The Sultan's choice for excitement, and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Before you buy or lease a Honda, Volkswagen, Hyundai, or any other model, compare Subaru, rated #1 in safety at Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Buy with 0.9% financing, 0 down. Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $259 a month. Crosstrek with symmetrical all-wheel drive, $239 a month. During the Subaru A Lot to Love event at Subaru of Pembroke Pines, South Florida's #1 volume Subaru retailer.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welt & Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welt & Rayom can help.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
The Dolphins, the Panthers, the Canes, and the Heat. No one
morning, boys and girls. Welcome aboard. It is Thursday, October 2nd, 2025. Day number 18,888. A lot of eights since the Miami Dolphins lifted the Vince Lombardi Trophy. And the Hurricanes, they can end their streak this year. Well, it'll be next year, but this season, because they're at 8,672 days since they were national champions. And today, Bitcoin pushing for $120,000 because it's at 119,540, 576 right now. I'm pretty sure we're going to hit 120 during the show here, maybe 121. Who knows? A lot of shorts will be busted at 120. Several billion, like 12 or whatever. But today is day number 101 that Bitcoin is over $100,000. So those are the streaks. One good, two bad. We continue. It is what it is. Welcome aboard. Time to have a little fun. Time to talk about a bunch of stuff actually today. Got a bunch of stuff that we're going to talk about. We're going to have some fun. We're going to laugh a lot, those kind of things. So all good in the hood. Don't forget, please, to hit that like button. All right. Por favor. And, of course, if you want to chime in on the chat board, you got to subscribe to the show and sign up. And we appreciate you all out there, as always. Thank you for supporting the show in any way that you do, whether you like, whether you visit our amazing sponsors like Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Take advantage. Go see Eric Stampone. Get $500 off when you're there, too. So if you're looking for a brand new Subaru vehicle, buying or leasing, tell them that we sent you. All right. We've got Ira Schofel going to join us today. I told you that I get somebody to, and it's usually Ira when we talk with the Seminoles, because I've known Ira for decades. And so he is the managing editor of warchant.com. He's like a fixture in Tallahassee. He's a Miami guy, actually, that had to move there. It's funny because we had Brockway on for the Gators game, and he's been covering the Gators up there for the Gainesville Sun forever, right? But he's also a Miami guy. And so Ira's a Miami guy, born in Baltimore, but he's raised here in Miami. But he's been up there. Obviously, you got to work, man. You find him, and then he's been up there, and he's also the co-host of Seminole Headlines and all that. So he's like the main dude up there when it comes for the Seminoles. So we will have our friend Ira Schofel on. If you've been following this show for many years, you know Ira Schofel very well. So we'll have him on to preview a little bit of the Seminoles and the Hurricanes this weekend, because that is the game that really matters this weekend. Yeah, of course, we love our Dolphins and the Panthers play this weekend. So, yes, of course. But Fort Lauderdale United also trying to keep their unbeaten start to the season. All right? Get your season tickets. Next home game will be November 1st, and we'll be out there broadcasting live. So the ladies are going for their fourth straight win in a row, and they are unbeaten this season. All right? And by the way, if you missed our interview with Kiara Locklear on Monday, it is posted this morning there on the website, and you can please go check it out and hit the like button. Help us, promote local soccer and help us. We've got the top team in the league. So let's go, man. You know what I'm saying? So all good. We got all of that going on this weekend. We got Inter Miami taking on the Revolution, and they're hurting off their Fire loss. So we've got a lot of stuff going on. Congratulations to Nikola Jovic, who gets a 4-year contract extension worth $62.4 million.
It's amazing how the money that the NBA dishes out. And I like Nikola, don't get me wrong here, don't misunderstand this, but he doesn't deserve this. Like, you've got to pay people when they, how much has New Orleans spent on the fat kid? A ton. They had to extend them and for a whole boatload of money and for nothing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's the worst thing in the world. Like, the kid's been in a few years. He hasn't really crossed that threshold yet. Do I like him? Yeah. Do I think he can do it? Yeah. But it's funny how you've got to make a $60 million investment when you still don't know yet. Because no matter how much you like him or I may like him, that doesn't mean he's there yet. Doesn't mean that he is worthy of you committing 4 more years to him. You know what I'm saying? And that's the screwed up part about the NBA. It's just, man, the amount of money that they've got to dish out. But I understand the method behind the madness and why they have to go in this direction. I totally understand, and you hope that it turns out into something. But it is a very odd thing, the way it is structured in the NBA. Just odd, and it's all guaranteed. So it really puts you behind the 8 ball when you commit. Don't forget, come on, man, smash the hell out of the like button while you're watching there. We need that. Stephen Harris, good morning to you, sir. Thank you. One-Eyed Jack, yes, sir. Bitcoin, we are trying to get to 120 right now. We're at 119,553. So we went up to 119.7 for a little bit there. We touched that and then came back down. So it looks like we could be headed there. So One-Eyed Jack, you might be a very happy man today as it goes on. I would imagine a lot of you, like most of you that are watching right now, I'm just wondering, just wondering, say yes or no, and that's all you got to put. Yes, I'm in a Bitcoin. No, I'm not. That's it. That's all. I'm just wondering, people that are watching, if you're willing to opine and give me your answer there and just say yes or no, just so I can have a feel for it. Wow, Kosa, no, and you're on every day. Okay, that's interesting. I find that very interesting. Okay. I would imagine most is going to be no. You know what I'm saying? I would imagine most is going to be no because the world most is no. But it's interesting where we're going. And I just wonder, because I know some of you have gone on the bandwagon along the way as I've talked about it, and you've noticed everything around you, that's happening. So it's interesting to see. Manny, yes. Adolfo, no. I do real estate instead. Okay. All right. Just out of curiosity, Adolfo, let me just give you a discussion on this. Okay. You do real estate. Okay. Doesn't grow faster than Bitcoin, but okay. Bitcoin you hold, and it's digital real estate. There's only 21 million. It's over. You can't build any more real estate. You can build more real estate. Their properties can be built. Plus, you've got to insure properties. You've got to maintain properties, right? You have risk of damage to properties. All of these things can happen. All of these things. If you're a Neil Rogers person, you'll pick up on that. Anyway, all of these things cost money. So it's more money you're pouring in to then after you have to get out. With Bitcoin, the purchase, and it's over. You don't have to insure it. You don't have to pay anybody to hold it. There are no damages, nothing. And by the way, they might start even lowering the taxes on it. Just a little bit of a thought. That's all. What's the matter, you? Hey. Anyway, just throw it out there. Just want to throw it out there. Because, a lot of stuff you got to buy, you got to maintain, you got to insure, you might suffer damage, and all of that hurts the bottom line. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting how Bitcoin just knifes right through all of that. You don't have to do anything. Just let it sit there. That's it. It grows. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to invest any other money. All you're doing is getting out money. It's really there is no real estate like Bitcoin. That would be my discussion and argument to that, my friend. Just trying to educate. That's all I'm trying to do. I'm trying to educate. We try. What else do we have here? Let me see. Yes. ETH Caspa. I like that. You got balls. Once you start going to crypto, you got balls. ETH, buying Bitcoin it takes, I guess, a little bit of guts because you got to first do it. But after you, really, there's nothing to it. But once you get into crypto, you got balls. Jeff in Long Island, no. Jake from Palatine, it's interesting how people black out the truth. Yeah. I just got my Alaska permanent fund divided today. 10,000 just for being on Alaska. Haha. Oh, okay. Nice. And okay. All right. What'd you put there, Stephen Baker? Because let me see. Now's the time for Bitcoin to make a run at all-time highs. You open my eyes to Bitcoin's value. Its value is energy, and these climate nuts worship energy consumption. Well, everything's about energy. Everything. And what you have to understand, and I don't want to bore you guys too much with this, okay? But your money's not energy. Your money's just printed. So it could just be reprinted. And look, the whole soybean thing that's going on now. We bail out Argentina, okay, because Trump and Milei are buddies, and so he gives them $20 billion, which, by the way, he owes $40 billion to the IMF that he can't pay. He's not going to pay us. And then Argentina turns around, okay, and buys the soybeans from China instead of our farmers. And now our farmers are all stuck with soybean that's just dying and rotting, and we're not moving any soybean. So guess what's going to happen now? Now we're going to print and buy out the farmers. Farmers don't want to really be bought out. They want business. They want to work. But he created the problem, Trump. Now he's going to print more money. Just drop the politics. I don't care about it. When the other idiot was in office for 4 years, I talked about all the stupid things they were doing. I'm going to talk about all the stupid things these guys are doing. It's all the same thing. But your money is useless. It's worthless. All fiat currency is worthless. To create a Bitcoin, it costs nearly $70,000. Okay? One Bitcoin was under a penny. 8 digits under a penny. It is now almost $120,000. It is at $119,538. Why? Energy. It takes energy to create a Bitcoin. It takes energy to move the Bitcoin. So people get paid for moving the Bitcoin. People get paid for transacting the Bitcoin. People get paid for mining the Bitcoin. People get paid for holding the Bitcoin. Because it's finite. Because it's real. No matter how intangible it is, it's way more tangible than money. When any idiot in France or the United States or Russia or whatever can hit the goddamn printer and just say, pop, oh, we got a problem. Hey, what's the matter, you? Hey, let's print them all. And that's it. That's all they do. Print, 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 print. Money gets devalued because they just keep printing more and more and more and more and more and more. So why do you think you think that Whopper is better or bigger or anything? No, the Whopper got smaller and it's more expensive. The NBA players are not better, they're more expensive. You think it's because they're more valuable? No, it's because the money is not as valuable. So when we used to, as kids, pay $1 for a tank of gas, yes, I've done that. $1.10, I've done that. 75 cents, I've done that. Pay for the same Coke that you could go to a gas station on. You may have to pay for that Mexican bottle of Coke, $3, $2.50, whatever. It was 10, 15 cents. It's the same Coke. Problem is the money is not valuable. So it shrinks. So you need more of it to purchase the same item. Meanwhile, NBA players will be getting paid less Bitcoin per year. To purchase a house, it will take less Bitcoin to purchase a house. Why, Mr. Real Estate? Because Bitcoin grows faster than a house. Isn't that interesting? Nowadays, it takes you only a couple of Bitcoins to buy a house. 10 years ago, it was going to take you a couple hundred Bitcoins to buy a house. Do the math. Figure it out. The world, the smart people are figuring everything out. It's energy. You run on energy. Your car runs on energy. The internet runs on energy. Cars and planes and boats and everything is on energy. Well, they finally made money made of energy. It's interesting. And it's just a concept that is so new to people that they don't understand it. And so we are going through a change where the next currency of the world is not going to be Spain's or Germany's or now the United States or anything. It's going to be Bitcoin. So it's just something you really need to look into it and understand what they're doing with our money, which is the same thing everyone else is doing with their money, because that's where we got all the bad habits. We got all our bad habits from the English, and we just kind of kept it going. Okay. And so, that's just and we're just the head of the snake of all the bad stuff. That's all. But there's a reason why the smart people and the powerful people are gravitating and scooping up Bitcoin like Pac-Man, because they understand and they get it. Okay. So that's all. There's my Bitcoin lesson of the day. Thanks to R&M Contractors, Ray and Mike. I mean, if I'm going to talk about Bitcoin, I'm going to give Ray and Mike all the credit in the world. 345-3649. Go to their Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island. If you're looking for a complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, appliance, waterproofing, your terrace, your balcony, he's a Bitcoin guy too. All right. Ray is a huge Bitcoin guy. And Mike, I think we got Mike also on the bandwagon there. Bathroom upgrades, floor restoration. So when you hit it big and you're looking to remodel the house, call Ray or Mike. They know how to get it done, and they know how to do an absolutely perfect job. R&M Contractors. All right. The E-Dude says, if you invested $1 in Bitcoin for every that's posted on Dolphins press conference, you will have 1 million in only a few months. Ocala Joe says, all we have to say is follow the money. Mark Cuban, Michael Saylor, yeah, Larry Fink, yeah, exactly, yeah. I mean, it's just kind of automatic. Speaking of Bitcoin, you can make a donation to the show, by the way, and by the way, thank you all out there for all the well wishes, for the birthday wishes. Do you know that I did not notice this yesterday? The happy birthday that my daughter left, because when I walked in, I had these flowers. I'm sorry, I had these flowers here. I have balloons. She had like all kinds of stuff all over the desk. So when I walk in through the door, I saw the balloons are over here to the right, and so that caught my eye, and I did not look at the wall, because the wall's the wall. I'm used to, like, it's the wall. I don't even pay attention. I'm just like doing the show, and I'm focused. And so I was telling her about everything, and she goes, "What'd you think of the happy birthday?" And I go, "Happy birthday." We're at happy birthday. Yeah, it was hanging behind you in the wall. What? And so I came up and I see the happy birthday. So terrible. Anyway, so I'll take it down after tomorrow's show, since we're in studio for the rest of the week. But in all honesty, Facebook, Instagram, Blue Sky, Threads, Twitter. Thank you all. DMs, posting, donations. By the way, thank you all. Appreciate you all out there for making it really special. By the way, and one of our listeners, I gotta look it up. I asked for, because I was already like planning on going like to an unusual place that I go to and all that kind of stuff. And I go, you know what? Let me just throw it out there last minute, see if anybody gives me some suggestions. And one gentleman gave me a suggestion, a place called the Malbec Grill in Parkland. And I went yesterday with the wife and my daughter, and we had a terrific dinner. It was delicious. I had a skirt steak. My wife also had a skirt steak. My daughter had the lobster ravioli. She loved it. I had this pork, these appetizers. I forgot what they're called, but it's like it's like pork, like pork rinds, but like in some maple stuff. Oh my God. That appetizer was delicious. Here it is, Robert on Twitter, Halloween John. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate the suggestion. He made several of them, and I had never even heard of the Malbec. And so I looked at it. The menu was pretty good, and I said, you know what? Let me go try this place. And from West Kendall to Parkland is a drive, but I don't mind driving. I'm not one of those dudes that gives a crap about driving, so I didn't mind. And we went, and by the way, and I doubt anybody at the Malbec Grill is actually watching or gives a shit about my show or whatever, but very nice. Very nice. I enjoyed my dinner very much. It was delicious, and I will return. Now, it's funny. After I thanked the guy later on in the evening, I said, hey, I went and I had a great dinner. Thank you very much. Some guy posted after, I was there too tonight, and I didn't like it. So, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm sorry, but I had a delicious dinner. So that's all I can say. Didn't affect my stomach or anything, which is a great test of food, that if you cook well, you know how it is. If you end up somewhere where Jeff Weinzer is visiting from Dirty Dining, or David J. Neal with the Miami Herald, and they're talking to you about all these dirty ass places, then, you're going to be in the porcelain throne like minutes after you eat. You know what I'm saying? So that's usually another good sign of when you're actually, eating at the right place. So Malbec Grill, good stuff. Good stuff as always. Appreciate it. All right, let me see, what else do we have here? Okay. And we're going to get Ira Schofel on, and he's going to be popping in now and joining us so we could talk a little and FSU, which looking forward to it. And I'll get back to, I got a bunch of Dolphin stuff too that I want to talk about, by the way. But thank you all out there, as always, for the love. Okay? Appreciate that big time. And remember, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. You can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Ray, good morning to you, sir. Thank you for the love on Venmo. Says, good morning, my brother. Bitcoin, please stay low so I can continue to stack. I don't think that's going to happen anymore, my brother. The moment that we've been waiting for a few years now is here. And October, November, and December, expect just absolute violent rips up now. And I'm not for financial advice, but also be ready to get out by the end of the year. I would not be surprised if we then see a dip after in 26 before there might be a little bit more of a climb for Bitcoin, but crypto will suffer a lot after the new year, and stocks will too. Not financial advice, but it is what it is. All right, we got the University of Miami football team. They are hitting the road. They are going to take on the number 18 team in the country, that is Florida State. And my man, Ira Schofel, managing editor of War Chant, is joining us now, co-host of Seminole Headlines. You can follow him on Twitter like I do and many others at Ira Schofel. Ira, good morning, my friend. How are you doing?
Good morning, man. It would be a better morning if I ever paid attention to your Bitcoin advice, but it's a good morning. It's good morning up here in Tallahassee.
It's funny because it's like, every once in a while I'll get a newbie. Oh, that Bitcoin stuff, and I'm like, yo, dude, I've been talking about it since it was at 16,000. We're here. We're over 100,000. Please, enough already. Because they just tune in and they think I just got on the bandwagon and just talked about it. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, you were riding with us for, you still haven't gotten on.
Well, I feel like, man, it's too late. But I felt like that at 40 and 50 too. So, hey, what are you gonna do?
It's not. It will 10x from here to 2030.
All right, buddy.
I'm just telling you, dude. Get a Cash App account, put $5 a week away. That's all. $5. You can afford $5 a week, but I want you to do the test of $5 a week and just leave it there and just let it sit there and just let it grow. Just watch it, and you're gonna go, oh, wait a minute, I need to put more in it.
Oh, you know, sports writers, man, we don't need all that. We got in our bank already, so we don't need to worry about that. You know that.
Yeah. And that money's growing.
Getting 1% in my savings account.
Oh, God. Don't even get me started with that. But anyway, it is what it is. But I'm just saying, do the test, the $5 test, and you'll be fine. And you'll that will win you over alone, just a $5 test. All right. We got a huge game when we talk about for the Seminoles, because they've got to get back on track. For the Canes, a huge game, because if you want to win the conference for once in your life and you want to get into the playoffs, these are the kind of games that you need to keep stacking. Like I stack stats here in Bitcoin, you got to keep stacking. So there's a lot on the line for this game this weekend.
Yeah, it's a huge game. I mean, obviously for Florida State, they desperately can't afford a second straight loss. Miami's got a little bit more wiggle room. They've played so well so far. They've got some significant wins. That Notre Dame game, I think, is going to look good as the year goes on. And so, they've got some wiggle room. It's not do or die for Miami. But if Florida State wants to be in the playoff, if they want to compete for the ACC title, they really need to win this game. If they don't, they still can have a good season. But it's kind of a do or die game for Florida State.
Okay, so you cover them. You're all over them. We saw them 2 years ago. They were phenomenal. And then they lose the quarterback and everything goes to hell last year. And then, now they kind of started off well with the whole Alabama thing. And then obviously now they get tripped up. So you tell me what FSU team is this?
I think it's somewhere between the Alabama game and Virginia. I think this offense is for real. They had a nice game against Alabama, and then to go on the road at Virginia, who's not a good defense, not a great defense, but it's on the road in your conference, and you went up and put up 500 yards of offense, 250 plus passing, 250 plus rushing. It was not fluky. Then they had some, plays that could have been bigger, called back, either penalties or miscues. So, yeah, I think this offense is for real. The defense is probably what's between Alabama and Virginia. I think we watched that Alabama game and thought, well, this Florida State defense might be way better than we expected. Very physical. I thought they kind of punked Alabama. But then Virginia, you see what they look like when they don't play with that same edge. They're not incredibly talented. They're a solid defense. They've got some veteran players, not a ton of superstars, maybe a couple. So I think they just have to get back to playing. If they can play with the intensity, ferocity, physicality that they showed against Alabama, if they bring that on Saturday, I think it's going to be a great game. If they don't bring it, it's going to be a tough day against that Miami offensive line and Carson Beck.
Right, and that's where I was headed to start on the defensive side of the ball with Florida State. When I watched that Virginia game, they kind of did whatever they wanted to. And then when I start to look at Miami's offensive line and running backs, dude, it's way superior to what they're facing. And I'm thinking, oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. I think Miami's offensive line can have a lot of success against Florida State, and Carson Beck will be untouched if these guys if Virginia can run on these guys and move the offense like they can. The mammoth offensive line from Miami and Fletcher and Brown, and they get the third kid back this week. I really like Miami's chances here to push them around at the line of scrimmage.
That's what Mario's going to try to do. And he did it last year. Miami probably could have named their score against Florida State last year, but Mario was very content to just run the ball, only throw Cam Ward when he needed to, just kind of dominate the game, not let Florida State kind of a boa constrictor approach instead of a rattlesnake. He was just kind of trying to muscle them and knew they would get the win eventually. This year, I do think Florida State's offense is good enough that I don't know if Miami can be ultra conservative. Miami's defense is good. I'm not taking anything away from credit for them, but Florida State's got a good offense. Gus Malzahn has a good approach. Tommy Castellanos is a perfect fit for that approach. So I think they're going to score some points. I don't think it's quite as inept on offense. Certainly, it's nowhere near as inept as they were last year. But to your point, yeah, Miami's going to try to play bully ball. They're going to run the football and try to get Carson Beck in some situations where Florida State's not sure if it's a run or pass, and they can't just tee off on him. So the key for Florida State, man, they've got to bring numbers and take their chances. I think they're really they're very confident. They say they're very confident in these cornerbacks. They brought in a guy, Jerry Wilson, transfer from Houston, who's had a good start to the season. They like him a lot. He's really their top corner. Jabril Rawls is a guy that was a role player in the past, has stepped up as a starter. A really athletic kid has come on. And if they're as confident in those corners as they say they are, then, man, you're going to have to bring numbers. You're going to have to bring numbers, stack the box, force Miami to throw the ball, and see if you can get home. But if you just sit back and play base against this Miami offense, I just don't see how you're going to be able to get any stops.
By the way, I am really a tortured Dolphins fan because the second you said Jerry Wilson, I just think about Jerry Wilson, the cornerback for the Dolphins, who was just absolutely toast.
This guy, his name was Jeremiah Wilson, but now 5 years into his college career, he decided he wanted to be Jerry. So I don't know. Maybe it's working out for him.
Not a good thing. Tell him Jerry Wilson, the corner, is not a good thing. Okay, and then you followed up with Jabril, which is just another nightmare name, for a Dolphin fan. But anyway, let me, as I digress here. There's no doubt I expect them to do bully ball when it's all said and done. Do you think they will stop them and force Beck to beat them? Because that's probably what you want them to do.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's definitely what your path to success is. I think they'll have a pretty good shot at it. I think it'll be, again, I expect it to be somewhere between what they did against Alabama and Virginia. Again, I don't know what happened to Alabama that day, and I'm not taking anything away from Florida State for that win, but Alabama just cowered. They just took it. Florida State tried to punk them early, and Alabama just wore it. They did not fight back.
Ira, if Miami plays Florida at the end of last season instead of the beginning of the season, is it a different game?
Right. No, that's a great point. 100%. They found that Florida, for whatever reason, found themselves during that season. They've lost it again, apparently. Well, at least the quarterback. But yeah, I think
they had the other quarterback at that moment. They had not made the switch yet.
You're right.
And then they made the switch to the kid, and Lagway then got on a little bit of roll, and it would have been a hell of a lot more dangerous for Miami to play Florida at the back end of the year, which, by the way, that's the history of college football, that sometimes it matters when you get a team during the season, at what point, whether they had losses or they haven't found themselves. Dude,
it's a great point. And it's also, it speaks highly to how important it is to have the right quarterback, and a quarterback that the kids believe in. Because Carson Wentz, was on paper a much better quarterback than DJ Lagway as a freshman, but Lagway got those guys kind of believing, and I think that's what Tommy Castellanos has done, for Florida State. That's why I do think they'll give an inspired effort on defense in this game, because they believe Tommy can take care of that side of the ball, and that he's going to score some points. Now, if the game goes on and Miami is shutting down Florida State's offense, now you get into a situation where you see, okay, how much do these guys believe on defense? But I think going into the game, they believe in Castellanos. They believe they don't need to pitch a shutout to win. They just need to go get an occasional stop. And I think they'll play really, really hard. Now, again, whether they're good enough, we'll see. But I think it's going to be a good game, man. I think they're going to give them a real challenge.
And let me tell you, all right, now let's go to the other side of the ball with Tommy Castellanos. I'm going to say something blasphemous down here. Love the kid's gusto. Love his balls. Love his moxie. Love that he is fearless, okay? And I think that's his edge overall, okay? But he still is the guy that's going to give you a chance to get at him, because he's going to make a mistake or two, because he is so aggressive. What makes him also hurts him a little bit there. And I think that's where Miami can take a little advantage there when it comes to the passing game and Castellanos. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, no, that's definitely accurate. His superpower also might be his kryptonite. And I think you saw that early in that game at Virginia. That Virginia goes down and scores off the turnover. Florida State gets the ball, drives straight down the field, gets to the 5-yard line, and on a 1st and 5, one of those RPO plays, he throws a pick. And that now Virginia's up 14-0. And FSU fans, you're just like, how could you throw that ball? How could you do that? And it's like, man, you got to take some of that. If he was this athletic, made every throw, was completely consistent, never made bad decisions, he wouldn't be at Florida State. He'd already be in the NFL. And so you got to sometimes you got to take the bad with the good. But no, you're right. I mean, he's an ultra competitor. I was a little concerned when he made the comments during the summer, not because the comments, what I didn't like, and I don't know if you saw this or not, you probably did, the video he did after that, when he was with Cam and Shador and those guys, and Isaac Horton from Alabama, and he kind of, I felt like, backed down from the comments a little bit. I was like, are you that guy? Are you the alpha, or are you pretending with the comments to the media? I think we've seen he is that guy. The way he competed against Alabama, I think he is that guy. He needs to be that guy, certainly for Florida State, and that's what gives them the chance. Now, is he going to make a mistake?
Let me tell you something, Ira. He has to stay being that guy. Right. That's what makes him who he is, because if he cowered to his mistakes, then he'll never get to where he's at right now. And because he's not a super talent, you got to deal with some of those mistakes. But the beauty is, dude, the guy's got cojones that don't fit inside Doak Campbell Stadium. And I got to give the guy credit for that, because there are just certain dudes that play that way. And I commend them for that, because in order for you to overcome the fact that you're not supremely talented, you got to have some extra balls. And that dude has the balls. And I give him credit for that, bro. He has to play that way. Or if not, he's never going to be as effective as he is right now. And I think you said perfectly, you got to live with some of those speed bumps.
Yeah, I think that's why it went so poorly for him last year with Bill O'Brien. I think Bill O'Brien's trying to make him a quarterback, a pro-style quarterback. It's like, that's not that kid. He needs to be this guy. And yeah, man, I think, and you'll see it. We'll see how he responds when those Miami guys come hitting. And what you'll see is, and we've heard guys through the years of this rivalry talk about the respect they have for each other. They know it. Those guys know it. They know who's for real, who's got balls, who doesn't. And if he plays that way, he'll earn the respect of those dudes. And the level of the entire game will get higher. But if you don't bring it, if you look like a mark, they'll smell blood and it'll be over. So again, man, I think he is for real. And I think that's going to be a great matchup when he's on offense and Miami's on defense.
Managing editor of warchant.com, Ira Schofel, joining us. You can follow him on Twitter at Ira Schofel. What should the Canes defense, and as the fans that are watching, what will be the main concern for their defense on that Seminoles offense outside of Castellanos, of course?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Gus Malzahn has done a really good job so far. He's got these guys not only believing, but he's putting them in good positions to succeed. And I think the way he does that and the way he did it against Alabama, and I think you'll see a lot of that in this game, is they know they can't man up with some of the Miami defensive linemen. They know that he's going to do what Gus Malzahn does. It's a lot of eye candy. It's a lot of misdirection, those jet sweeps, some reverses, get Castellanos going with his legs, try to get them to be hesitant. That's what happened to Alabama. Once Alabama got on their heels, now all of a sudden, okay, Gus can, the whole playbook is in front of them. So that's going to be, I think, the key for Miami. Can they hone in and not get trapped in some of the misdirection, the eye candy, and just play what's in front of them? Miami is a better team. But if they let their aggression get the best of them, if he gets them moving one way and coming back the other way with a sucker punch, hitting him with the jab, now Gus has a chance to make something happen. So really, guys that weren't a big factor in that Virginia game, two guys that were not a big factor in that Virginia game are Jalen Lucas, who's a running back receiver / dynamic little jitterbug kind of guy, and then Mekhi Danzy, the speedster. Those two guys are who they like to use on a lot of the East-West stuff. And if you see them, if they start having success, that really opens up. Now they do have some power backs. Gavin Sawchek, Roydell Williams, Usman Kroma, the freshman, big, strong dudes who like to run between the tackles. But they're going to have to soften up that defense by going east to west first. And if they don't have success with that, then it'll be tough for those bigger backs.
If you're writing for War Chant, why will the Seminoles lose this game? What is it that they cannot allow Miami to do? And I think it's going to be where we started this damn conversation. But go ahead.
Yeah, 100%, man. They can't let Miami just go on 14-play drives. They have to get off the field. And so that doesn't mean stuffing the run. It doesn't mean, just dominating. That's not going to happen. They're not going to
stop. It stops. That's it, right?
Yeah. You just got to get some stops. You got to get off the field. And now, if you get that offense scoring a little bit and you put Miami under some game pressure, because the one thing Miami has not faced yet is a road environment and real game pressure throughout the course of a game. Notre Dame started to show some life late in that game, but for the most part, Miami was in control. They were in control against USF. Florida was never out of control in terms of score, but you knew Florida wasn't going to score, so you felt very comfortable. This game, you're going on the road for the first time. Doak's going to be electric, a night game. If the team upholds their part of the bargain, you get a little bit of a lead, put some game pressure on Miami. Now we have to see what Miami is really made of. And that's what, listen, Miami should want to see that, because you're going to get in some of these situations, certainly in the playoffs down the road. And so, it's going to be a great test for Miami, but that's the path to victory from Florida State. They have to live up to their part of the bargain, capitalize on that crowd, and put some game pressure on Miami.
All right, last two questions. From an outsider's point of view, you look at Mario now, and Mario has had his bumps in the road, and even the Georgia Tech game, and some of these questionable assistant coaches. It looks now like he's got it figured out, like his assistant, like he got the right defensive coordinator. He certainly has the right offensive coordinator right now. It looks like he's got his kids there now. From an outsider's point of view, does it look like Mario has turned the corner with the program?
Yeah, it definitely does. And sometimes this happens in stages with your staff. I know that when Lance Guidry, early on in his tenure, I talked to the Florida State coaches, and they were impressed by how hard he was getting guys to play. They felt like Miami's guys weren't playing as hard before Lance Guidry got there, and he got them to play harder. So that's a step. Well, now the next step is, they're playing better, they're playing smarter, and they're more coordinated, and it seems like they've got better overall talent. But yeah, man, you can't look at Miami and not think that they're one of the very few complete teams in college football. Now, again, the question about Carson Beck still is unanswered. How is he going to play if you really get after him? Because I don't think that's really happened yet. If you really get after him and there's game pressure and you're on the road, is he the guy? He won some big games at Georgia. There's no question 2 years ago. But he also had, the McConkey kid and Bowers. And, he had some all-time greats at the skill positions. He's got talent at Miami. But now it's going to be more about him making these plays than just being a young guy facilitating the offense. So that question's not answered, I don't think, completely. I think
it may never get answered because you have the wall of Montezuma in front of you.
Right.
You've got an NFL back in Mark Fletcher.
Right.
Brown is, pretty special. And what's the third kid now? I'm forgetting. Allen. He's a dynamite. So you may never get to that point with Beck. We may never find that out because if you play the way you're supposed to play, like the way Mario does, it doesn't put your quarterback in those positions. So it'll be very interesting to see if there's a team that can get the best of Miami early in a game to put them in that position that you're talking about.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. And I don't know that Florida State's that team, that's got to be their goal. And again, I think when you look at how they're going to do it, how can they possibly do it? It's going to have to be creating pressure, being very creative, and maybe have Miami make a mistake here or two. That's not unheard of. Teams make mistakes. I'm not saying Florida State has to hope for that, but I think sometimes we look at these teams and expect them to operate like machines in the factory, that everything's going to go perfectly. That's not how it works. It's not how it worked for Florida State up at Virginia. It's not how it worked for Miami in these last couple of years in some of the games they've lost. So, Florida State I didn't feel like they got much going their way in Virginia. They are going to have to get some things to go their way, I think, to win this game and to put that kind of pressure on Miami and Carson Beck.
All right, what's the prediction?
I'm going with the crowd and the emotions. I think Florida State losing that game to Virginia was huge for Florida State. I think it gives them that edge that they need, that they had against Alabama. I think Miami, because they do have some wiggle room, it's not do or die. I know it's this rivalry. They're going to bring it. But at the end of the day, man, I think Florida State's going to be a little bit more desperate. And I think that crowd's going to be a factor. Miami not having been on the road yet. Some of those young players, as you said, that line is that line. That's going to travel. But some of those young guys that are super talented have not really been in this environment. And so I think that's going to be a factor. So I took Florida State to win. I think I said 34-27. But, man, anything could – I could see Florida State winning a close game, losing a close game, or Miami winning in a romp. The only scenario I can't see for this game is Florida State getting away with it. But I'm hopeful it's going to be a good game, and I think it is.
I'm the opposite of you are. I think it's going to be a kind of a close game because Florida State will be playing with a lot of desperation after losing, but I still think Miami is better. So I think they are the ones that win by that touchdown, 10 points, something like that. I just think they're the better team right now. Right now,
there's no question about that.
At the trenches, they're the better team on both sides of the line, I think. And it's what I've been talking about, why the Dolphins have been what they are for 40 years, because they never win at the line of scrimmage on a consistent basis on both sides. And that's the one thing that I give Mario a ton of credit, bro. He has not screwed around, and he has attacked recruiting on both lines of the scrimmage. And he's got the best defensive ends, I think, in the country.
This sport isn't that complicated. It really comes not. It usually comes down to the trenches and the quarterbacks. And man, Miami on paper, there's no question Miami's got both of those.
Yeah, dude. To me, it's just you win there. It just sets everything up for everybody else. Dude, Steve Walsh and Ken Dorsey aren't the most physically imposing dudes in the history of mankind. But when you put a line in front of them with some running backs and those receivers, they can orchestrate whatever the hell they want, and you're not going to touch them. And that's what I was telling you, that maybe that's what will happen to Carson Beck, because if you win there, the life for your quarterback is so much more easier, dude. It's just crazy, dude. It's just insane. Anyway, tell the Seminole fans out there, what are you working on War Chant so they can check you out, my friend?
Thanks, man. Yeah, plenty of coverage of the game. Our matchup analysis will be up later today, looking at all the position battles. That's coming. We've got a ton of recruiting coverage. They've got some big-time recruits, as you'd expect, coming in. Some probably that want to see the Canes, but most that want to see the Noles, and including some guys that are committed to other schools. Several guys are committed to the Gators. Some other schools where they might be looking around a little bit. So plenty of recruiting coverage, team coverage. And, yeah, man, it's a wall-to-wall until we get to Saturday night, 7:30. I can't wait. Can't wait for this one.
Me too, bro, because the Dolphins suck, so I need the Canes, bro. So much love, my brother. Enjoy yourself out there. Appreciate you always taking the time, man. Thank you.
Thanks, take care.
You got it. Ira Schofel, managing editor of warchant.com. Go check him out. He's also the co-host of Seminoles Headlines. A good dude, a Miami dude, okay? Don't hold it against him because he's, covering the Seminoles. No, but he's just an exceptional person, man. Just an exceptional person. But I like the Canes this week. All right. And they're favored by 4.5. So we'll see what happens. But go to warchant.com, follow him on Twitter at Ira Schofel. And if you're a Seminoles fan, it's the only place to go. So for any of you Seminoles fans down here, make sure you check out warchant.com. But I'm going to lay the 4.5. I think they win by about a touchdown, 10 points, something like that. It's what I tell you about Tua all the time. As much as I love Tua, if you don't build a line in front of him in a running game, he can't do his job. Can't do his job because he's not that quarterback. And it's what people don't understand. And when you look at Ken Dorsey and Steve Walsh, it's the same shit. It's the same shit. It's the same shit as Tom Brady and Peyton Manning at the next level. Guys that can't move around that well. You're not going to win with their legs and all that kind of stuff. You need to design things the right way. And that's what I love, at least, about what Mario and his attitude of building a football team. Build mother effers from inside out. And that's what he's gotten dogs inside. And if you can win at the line of scrimmage, everything else falls into place, dude. Everything else falls into place. That's when Craig Erickson can win a title. And he's not the most gifted quarterback in the world, and neither is Steve Walsh, and neither is Ken Dorsey. But they're smart and super accurate. And this happens at every level, the NFL, college, whatever. But when you have one, build it the right way. That's what we don't understand with the Miami Dolphins. We don't understand how to build the right way around quarterbacks like Marino or Tua that can pass but can't move around. So it is what it is. But Mario gets that, and I love that. It's huge. All right. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. By the way, we got a Bitcoin dip, 118,990. We went under 119. Jump on right now. Take advantage. And by the way, I'm serious. Do the $5 thing. Oh, the Dow is now down 84 points. I see what happened there. Okay. Oh, man. Let's see. What else? Let me go to the chat board here. Jimmy Zoria in San Jose. Gus 1388. Scott Bonus. Cosa. Horn Dog. John Padilla. Alexis Palenzuela. Jeff in Long Island. True Fin Fan. Will Omar Kelly want us to sign X? We got to talk about that. So... the headline in the Herald reads, Xavian Howard picks family over football or some crap like that. What is it? And it's Omar Kelly's story. Again, love Omar Kelly, but hey, we're talking sports. And if we disagree, And it doesn't matter if you're Ira Winderman and thinking that Bam Adebayo's a star, which we finally got him off of that, or Tyler or whatever. I'm going to call anybody out, bro. It doesn't matter who it is, okay? So it has nothing to do with it. This is sports. It's not personal. I'm going to call your ass out, okay? I don't give a shit if you're Joe Rose. I don't give a shit if you're Kim Bokamper. I don't give a fuck. Are we clear on that? Okay. Anyway, so Colts cornerback Xavian Howard retires, picking family over football is Omar Kelly's story. His agent, by the way. So did we get a statement from Omar Kelly on the release of X? His ass was toast 2 years ago. Not this year, 2 years ago. That's 3 seasons ago. He was toast. What, are we going to go after Brent Grimes next? Is that next Omar Kelly, Brent Grimes article coming? Family over football. Kiss my ass, dude. You can't play. You suck. You're done. You were a great, great player. Awesome, awesome player for the Dolphins for a stretch. You've been toast for a while. You haven't been able to play for a long time. You've been stealing money. And you got lucky that Lou Anarumo was so freaking desperate that, hey, once out there, and who? Oh, yeah, I coached him, and so Lou coached him early in his career and thought he was the same guy late in his career that he was early in his career, and Lou found out that no. Yeah. And X found out that no, he can't play anymore. When NFL receivers were torturing his ass, they were doing it in a Dolphins uniform. They were picking on Xavian Howard at the end of his career here. Couldn't stay healthy, which was a problem for him throughout his career besides all the off-the-field shit. I'm not his agent. I'm not his friend. Guess what? I'm not any player's agent or any player's friend. I'm just going to sit here and call it like I see it and tell you, we told you so. For a while now, you got to be a moron to sign Xavian Howard. And the Colts were those kind of morons. Family over football. Kiss my ass. This is the dude that's got like 800 kids with how many baby mamas? Family over football. Come on, man. It's like the dude that finds God in jail. Whoa. Wow. Convenient, isn't it? After you committed all those crimes and you're stuck in jail for 15 years, now you found God. Okay. Now you found family instead of football. Okay. Interesting. All they were doing is documenting how he was getting toasted and roasted every single week. Hey, listen, they signed him, and at least he told the Colts, hey, look, this is what you got to do. They can't run. They won't run. Pack the box, and that's it. At least he was hired for some advice, if that's the way you want to call it. But Xavian Howard, I commend him because that man was stealing money for a long, long time. And by the way, if there's something that I will always be pissed at the Miami Dolphins is, and it's not hindsight because I'm the only person in the media that said it. I'm the only person in town that said it because most of the fans hated me. But the second the season was done with the 10 interceptions, I said, now's the time to trade him. So this is what we get. It is what it is. Got to know when to get off the gravy train, and we didn't know when to get off the gravy train. And worst of all, the Colts thought there was some gravy left. Oh, man. That's too funny. Xavian Howard retires. Family over football. Kiss my ass. If that guy could actually cover, he'd put off the family stuff for as many years as he possibly could. Family over football. It's, it's like they think we're stupid. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. Yes, you did. Darren Waller is, we're bringing him along slowly. No, you're not, dude. You're a liar. Problem is, we don't have enough people to call out the liars. That's our problem. Family over football. Write the damn article the way it's supposed to be. Xavian Howard came to the realization that he no longer can play at the NFL level. And he's better off being with his family. He may feel that, but he's better off not being in the NFL. And the Colts are better off without Xavian Howard. That's what you're supposed to write. Because that's the objective view to it. Not worried about somebody's feelings. Guy's getting paid a couple $100,000, maybe $1 million he got for the month that he played. Who knows what he ended up making? But whatever it is, he made some money for doing absolutely nothing. So let's just call shit like it is. The Dolphins are a franchise that constantly lies and cheats. And it's been proven over the years as they get busted constantly for lying and cheating. Is that amazing? By the way, is it amazing that the Dolphins get constantly caught lying and cheating? Like the Darren Waller stuff. Why would you? So you signed him and he got injured. Big deal. Happens. He hasn't been playing football. Tore some muscle off his hip. There you're lucky he's playing right now. I don't even know how long he's going to last. But hey, you could sign him and say had the bad luck that he got injured. That's it. It happens. We traded for Hugh Green and he blew out his knee. It happens. You put Troy Vincent out to do special teams and he blows out his knee. It happens. Ed Perry goes out to snap on a baseball field and he blows out his knee. It happens. Jake Long busts his knee in a useless preseason game in the fourth quarter. Yes, I said that. In the fourth quarter, the guy was playing in the second half on a baseball rainy field, and he was never the same again. Shit happens. I've been around a long time. Shit happens. Just be honest about it. You think Shula was happy about trading for Hugh Green and then he blows out his knee? No. But it happened. And you address it and move on. Lying about Darren Waller on top of all the other lies and cheating. Like, are we avoiding all of this now? Is anybody writing articles about this? Anybody talking about how the Dolphins have a terrible, terrible habit of lying and cheating? A horrible habit of lying and cheating. Constantly. And they're constantly getting busted for lying and cheating. Damn, dude. Constantly, dude. Lying and cheating. They're better at that than they are winning. get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. The amazing Alan Blanco, 786-618-1443. If you're looking for custom printing and embroidery, please call my guy, Alan Blanco. He can do it for your company, corporation, institution, school, whatever it is. Uniforms, hats, shirts, you name it. They do it. They'll get it done for you. You can do it all by Zoom, email, and they'll have it shipped to you right away. 786-618-1443. We start off with the Miami Heat. They signed forward Nikola Jovic to a 4-year contract extension worth $62.4 million. In football, the Miami Dolphins, they are favored by 1 point on the road in Carolina. Over and under is 44.5. Dolphins minus 120 on the money line. Panthers plus 100 on the money line. Saturday at 7:30, you just heard Ira Schofel from warchant.com. The Canes will visit FSU. 7:30 for that one. Number 3, Miami is favored by 4.5. Number 18, FSU. And the over and under in that game is 53.5 plus 160 for FSU, minus 200 for Miami. Also at 7:30, Riverfront Stadium, the Fort Lauderdale United put their unbeaten streak on the line. They've won 3 in a row, and they are unbeaten for the season. They take on the Tampa Bay Sun FC, and this is a rematch of the league's final last year that Tampa Bay won. So Fort Lauderdale looking for a little revenge, and Kiara Locklear was on with us, and she talked about that revenge also. You can check out that interview. 7:30, Inter Miami will host the New England Revolution, and Inter Miami is minus 275 on the money line. The Revolution are plus 575 on the money line. Tonight in Thursday Night Football, 8:15, San Francisco taking on the Rams. Rams are favored by 7.5. The over and under is 44.5. Plus 350 for San Francisco. The Rams minus 450 on the money line. That is your 3A Graphics sports calendar. All right. By the way, Caneswear, proud sponsors of our show. Matthew Kachuk in a few days will be signing autographs on Wednesday, October 8th, 6 to 7:15 p.m. All right. Get on down there. I think you can even use this QR code. It'll even work. There you go. You can use that QR code if you want to go for the public signing. And you can get 10% off when you use our code BIG010. Okay. So there you go. Go see Brett and Jeff and Jack and Ken Graff and all the amazing people out there at Caneswear, man. And go to caneswear.com. It's a beautiful thing. All right. Get a little water here. Remember, Cash App or Venmo. You can send in your questions, comments, insults. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Anyway. You get thirsty doing this. All right, what else do we have to talk about on the show? So we talked about a little XMan. I want to talk about something else that I want to stay consistent on. And all off season, I've told you that they can tell you whatever they want, but there has been no urgency shown to try to win games, right? Trades have been for future picks, cap space saved. They are not spending big money on free agents. They're not trying to trade for anybody, nothing. They'll acquire picks for the future. They don't want to trade picks from the future. When Jonnu Smith wanted a new contract, they said, no thanks. No, we're not giving you a new contract. We'll trade you is what we'll do. And they went and saved money in the process by all of that, and even got a draft pick. Okay. And they replaced him with a guy that was retired, a bad rapper that was retired. And so far, he's played 1 of 4 games. We'll see if he can continue, and hopefully it can turn into something. We're not sure yet, but at least we got 1 out of 4 games. We'll see moving forward how it turns out. So now you lose Tyreek Hill. And Cedric Wilson is signed. But Cedric Wilson needs a procedure, so he won't be available early on. And people are losing their shit. And I say to you, what did you expect? Aren't you the same idiot that was telling me, hey, let's go trade for Brian Robinson, and let's go trade for this guy, or that guy's available? And we kept telling you, they're not doing that. They're not trading for anybody. They're not giving up picks. They're not trading. They're not paying anybody any big salaries or anything. And you kept being wrong every time throughout the offseason, thinking that they would acquire somebody because they were looking to win. Nothing that they've done the entire offseason or the team that they've created tells you that they were going to win. So why are we continuing, some of you at least, I know some of you that are on this show all the time, you're already on with me on this, and you've kind of like picked up on it, like, yeah, dude, there's no urgency. They're not trying to win. So did you expect them? A lot of people wanted them to use some of the young guys anyways. But what's out there? What do you want to do? You want to go trade for a receiver? They're not going to do that. Like, some guy like jokingly, the problem is that a couple of you have brought up AJ jokingly. And it's really not jokingly. You're saying it, but backhandedly, you just, you want it or something, or you think it's somehow doable or something. Or maybe you heard a writer write it, or a talk show host talk about it for fun or something. And, you go along with the stupid hypotheticals. But let's come into reality, which is where I like to live. I like to live in reality. Show me the proof this entire offseason where they actually did and went out and got the best of what they could do for anything. They didn't. The only time is in the draft that you hope they made the best pick, and I know a bunch of these kids aren't doing well right now, obviously early on, but it's way early for that. I'm not doing. You people did the same thing for Chop Robinson. Like the first half of the year, he was a bust and all, and then by the end of the second half, he was actually a good pick. Yes, it was. It's just you have no patience. Like a lot of people, they don't have patience for young people. And defensive tackles and guards, bro, those are some of the slowest developing positions that are out there. So, yeah, have patience. It's going to take some time to find out about Savanaya. Plus, he's also learning everything on the left side. So who knows? But the Cedric Wilson thing, if you're losing sleep over this, you're an idiot. Stop torturing yourselves. They're not trying to win. Okay? They can, again, we go back to lying and cheating. They can tell you whatever they want, but you can't believe anything they tell you anyway. So let's grow up a little bit. Let's live in reality and stop being so fanatical. Okay? You may want them to win. Sure, I want them to win. But the reality is they're not doing the things that you have seen in the last few years where they're trying to win. This is not trying to win. This is just trying to get by this season. That's all. That's all this is. So the Cedric Wilson thing, don't make it out to be what it's not. It was never supposed to be like this incredible, impactful move. If it happens, it happens. If not, you're getting a veteran, a taller target, and that's it. And whenever he's healthy, then you'll play him in there because rookies are hard to count on. Young guys are hard to count on. It's not an easy thing. So there you go. What else do we have? Canes on the road for a big road game. Canes got the players. Will Cristobal make the right calls? My biggest worry, Big O, people pay you to insult you. Sounds like a good gig. Yes, they do. And it's a great gig, my brother. I am not tied to any corporations. I get to do whatever I want. It's a fantastic gig. It's a gig that most people would love to have and can't. So I'm really blessed, you know? So yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So there we go. What else do we have going on in the Inter Miami's another team that enjoys beating the bad teams but gets mollywopped by the better teams? Yeah, because they're old. And, you know, this third week of playing 2 games in a row, it catches up to these old legs. So, yeah, Chicago lit them up like a Christmas tree. It'll be interesting to see how they handle the playoffs. You know? Bacera says, I don't understand why none of the media doesn't ask McDaniel why he won't surrender play calling duties. Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, right? But he will never. No, I mean, it's been asked, but it's asked at the beginning of the year. There's no reason to ask anymore because it's not going to happen. He's going to go down with the ship that way. X has always been about family. Want a picture of your mama? X has your back. And by the way, Pep, one more thing. Mario is not making the calls. He's got 2 coordinators, and he's letting them do their job. And last year should have shown you that he really grew up last year, where he let his offensive coordinator and his quarterback do a lot of crazy shit that was very un-Mario-like. And I gave Mario a ton of credit for that. Frankie Fresco says, I have some bad news. It appears that Chico's sold their restaurant to a new owner because prices have increased and quality has gone down drastically. They are now charging a cover on Saturdays to eat. Wow. Okay, well, I'm not going anywhere where you got to pay a cover to eat. Mike Martin, thank you, sir. He says, your time and effort is appreciated. Thank you. That's very nice of you. Let's see. NorCal says, I'm laughing at all the short memory Fins fans saying how great X was for Miami. In my opinion, he was bad for Miami, handcuffing them and holding out, disappears after crying for an extension. Yeah, there's a lot of bad shit with X, you know? Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. You got good moments, but there were a lot of like negative moments with him. I personally would not put him in the Ring of Honor. There's a word there that honor, X, and honor. Anyway. Stephen Baker, now's the time for Bitcoin to make a run at all-time highs. You opened up my eyes to Bitcoin's value. It's value to energy, and the climate nuts worship energy consumption. I think I read that already. What else? I'm trying to go back to the old ones to make sure because I can't read them all. Sometimes I end up reading the same one, like that one. Jago, I don't know about a legend, but I'm old. Usually that's what you do with when you call somebody a legend. It's because they've been around a long time. But I appreciate you, okay? G Gatto, Thank you. Gigato 305. I appreciate you, my brother. Thank you. Dolphin Dave, Cedric Wilson is another scrub. Devin Jordan, why bring in an injured Cedric Wilson who probably won't practice or play? LOL. It's pretty consistent with what's going on. X, the family man who will cheat on his wife with your son or daughter's elementary teacher. And Mark NorCal says, Ring of Honor, X Factor? Hell no. You know, it is the Ring of Honor. I'm not necessarily, honor and X. I don't know if that really, that's an oxymoron, isn't it? That's what I call that. Before I get to something Dolphins that I wanted to talk about, because it's a doozy. Because there's something in the Dolphins' water where can you be more full of shit? But we'll get to that in a minute. I want to congratulate and thank Shedeur Sanders. Okay. You guys see that interview? We're not going to put it up because we'll probably get tagged for it or whatever, where he acted like a mime and all that stuff and answering the questions. And he was kind of, making it a joke. I've done this for a long time. Okay. And Sean, I know you haven't been in football locker rooms a fraction of what I've been, but you've been enough to know this. How many times do we go out and seek Reed Sinnett, the third quarterback? Never. Nobody ever talks to the fucking third quarterback. Nobody ever wants to talk to the third fucking quarterback. Nobody cares about the third quarterback. And teams usually just don't make the third quarterback available. So the Browns as an organization, they're a clown show because of this. And I'm glad that Shedeur Sanders is making a mockery of the whole thing, because the media is only going to Shedeur to try to stir some bullshit up. And it's not Shedeur's fault, dude. He got taken in the 5th round. He's stuck there behind Dylan Gabriel and the old man. And they had Kenny Pickett there too in front of him, when he's better than those guys. But whatever. Okay, whatever. If he's acted like a jerk or whatever, I don't care. But you put him there in that position. So what do you want the kid to do? I'm glad he's doing this, because a real organization would only have the starting quarterback talk. You don't even talk to the backup. You don't even care about the backup. And you certainly don't care about the third quarterback, emergency quarterback. Nobody cares. So all it is an ulterior motive. It's an obvious one. It's not like it's a hidden agenda here. But you're the Browns. You're the organization in control. You can put a kibosh to it and say, hey, the backup and the third quarterback you cannot talk to them. So even if they happen to come through the locker room, you must leave them alone. If you do talk to them or try to talk to them, we will strip you of your credential. They can do those kind of things. They can do it. And it's easy. I've been there. They've done it before, and nobody ever talks to the third quarterback. Nobody ever wants to. And the only reason you want to slash media is because you're looking to stir some shit up. And if you're the Browns and you know that, why are you making him available? Make him available the day you make him a starter. Till then, keep him shut. Or if he needs to go to his locker while the media is there for the 45 minutes, because you can easily keep players out for 45 minutes while the media is there. Most of them don't want to be there when the media is there. Be honest. You can put a kibosh to it. But this happens because the Browns are a clown-ass organization. And clown-ass organizations do clown-ass things. And this is why that happens. But make no mistake, don't blame Shedeur Sanders at all for any of this. Blame the Cleveland Browns. Don't even blame the media. The media is doing the dirty shit that we normally do. We're going to go after a juicy story. We're going to try to stir it up. We're going to try to get clicks and all that. That's what we do. So if Shedeur Sanders can talk, let me go over there and try to stir it up that they named Dylan Gabriel and not him. So you know what the agenda is. You can clearly end it. You don't have Flacco talk, and you don't have Shedeur talk. The only person that talks is Dylan Gabriel. That's the way an NFL team is supposed to be run. You know, so I blame the Cleveland Browns, and I commend Shedeur Sanders. Make it a mockery, dude. Make it a mockery. They put you in the middle of it, dude, make fun of them. I hope he shines whenever he plays well, and I hope he holds them by the balls for the short time that he's there, and then he decides to go wherever the hell he wants and screws them over. That's what I hope ends up happening with Shedeur Sanders. But that Shedeur Sanders situation, you blame no one but the Browns. Okay? That's their irresponsibility for allowing that buffoonery to take place. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. Barry Jackson puts out on a tweet here during our regular Thursday meeting briefing with 5 assistant coaches, DC Anthony Weaver cautioned not to judge Kenneth Grant after 4 games. KG has tremendous talent, but until we match the talent with technique and fundamentals, potential won't be reached. Wow, I wonder who's been telling you that. I wonder who's been telling you not to judge young defensive tackles or a guard that was a right guard moved to left guard. I wonder who's been telling you you got to wait to the second half of the year so Weaver can figure shit out and young players can maybe get better as they go on, kind of like what happened with Chop and Patrick Paul and stop overreacting and all those kind of things. You know. But I get it, bro. Clickbait shit. That's what it is. Clickbait. I just don't do stuff for clickbait. I just give you the brutal honesty. Oh, you left out Watson. Yeah. The Browns and Watson. Clown-ass organization. I'm not a guy that likes to buy bullshit, and I certainly don't sell it ever. Why is it that I got to get bullshit from the Dolphins all the time? And now the latest one is from my boy, Tua Tagovailoa. Yep, my boy. He's selling some bullshit. Question is, are you buying the bullshit? That's what I want to know. Are you buying the bullshit? Because he's selling it. He's selling a lot of bullshit. And then I see the media write the bullshit. But do you question the bullshit? Or do you buy the bullshit? I'm just wondering. So nutrition is the reason why you didn't get a concussion? Really? It's all about carbs and keeping the liquids and all that stuff. And really? Well, let me tell you something. I slept at a Holiday Inn last night. Yeah. It was my birthday. So we dropped off my daughter here at the house, then we went to the Holiday Inn. We got a little busy. It's my birthday. And I'll have sex if I want to. Other people cry, I have sex. It's the way it is. So, from the Too Much Information department, it's a joke. Relax. Okay. This is a load of shit. The slide that happened late, go watch the video. He got lucky. He didn't get hit. That's why he didn't get concussed. It had nothing to do with his diet. Seriously. Why didn't somebody tell Eric Lindros about, hey, dude, just eat more carbs. You won't get concussions. Really, that's going to stop you from getting your head rattled. Give me a break. Watch the video. Watch the slide. It was all perfect for him. He slid late, which was his fault, not even the defender. And I said that on the post-game show, that he slid late. Slide out. He slid late. That was on him more than the defender. I defend the defender more than I defend Tua in that play. Tua was stupid because he slid late. And if you watch the whole interchanging of the whole slide and the guy going over and all, his head never gets rattled. So it had nothing to do with his diet that he talks about and all that. Because if somebody goes like this, he will go and get a concussion. Okay? So, but his head didn't go in the hit. But when his head does this, he'll get concussed. He will. You will get concussed. I will get concussed. I slammed my head against the bathroom corner door, and I got deeply concussed. And guess what? Tua, I'm a fat guy. I eat a lot of carbs. A lot of carbs. Bubba, I wasn't born yesterday. Who the hell told you eating a couple steaks and you're not going to get a concussion? Are you out of your mind? And then people are writing this? That's going to protect you from concussions? Come on, dude. You know what protects you from concussions? 5 mother effers that can block a dedication to the running game. That's what's going to keep you upright. That's where you're not going to get concussed. Get me guys that can block and get a commitment to the running game. Does not matter how many steaks or bread or whatever the hell you want to go eat. That's not going to save you. That's the dumbest shit I've heard. And the fact that people are actually repeating that stupid ass comment is amazing to me. I would imagine doctors are sitting there going, are they believing this shit? Stay away from contact. Who the hell told you eating meat would stop you from getting concussed or eating carbs? It's not going to help you. What happened the other night was you got lucky, Tua. In that slide, there was no real contact with your head. You did not get slammed to the floor. Your head did not bounce off of anything. If it did, there's not a damn brontosaurus steak in the world that's going to save you. I mean, talk about, treating me like I'm stupid. Darren Waller, no, we're bringing him along slowly. Yeah, I'm stupid. I did not have sexual relations with that girl. Yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, I'm stupid. I did not inhale. Yeah, I'm stupid. Seriously. I mean, kids, eat steaks, avoid concussions. That's what Tua says. We're at 119,467, by the way. Bag on head. Thank you for the love in the super chat. He said, I had a steak last night, and I haven't had a concussion since. Maybe there's something to this. You know, I had a skirt steak last night also, and it was delicious at the Malbec Grill in Parkland. Good job, by the way. I don't know anybody there, but just in case. Nice job. And I'm with Bag on Head. I have not been concussed at all. Yeah. Well, my wife had a steak. She didn't get concussed with her head banging against the board of the bed. So, yeah, no, it works. Yeah, no, it was tested last night. Yeah. No concussions for my wife or me. Bag on head, no, Tua's right. Eat steaks, avoid concussions. That's it. Got steak, no concussion. That's all. If you're, I would imagine, Sean, NASCAR racers, the drivers, don't they eat a steak before they get in the car? Okay, see, I got a thumbs up. No concussions for them. They can go into walls, no concussions. Your wife can just slam her head into the bedboard, no concussions. None whatsoever. It's all good. It's all good. Oh, I got to agree with Cam Newton. I like quiet Tua. Yeah, because, bro, now you're selling snake oil? I mean, you know. I'm serious. Have you seen anybody challenge that, Sean? Has anybody written that and said, like, you've got to be full of shit or something on this one? Because I have not seen this. Like really? Like, yeah, no, I didn't get a concussion when I slid because I ate a steak. Yeah, I had a whole Cuban bread before I started the game. So there you go, kids. Eat Cuban bread, suffer no concussions. What else do we have? Panthers have a shutout. Well, they're playing right now? Are the Florida Panthers playing like right now? I didn't even know. No, right? They can't be playing at 11:30 in the morning. What's he talking about? Panthers have a you're talking about that the Carolina Panthers have a shutout against Atlanta 30-0. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that must be some other conversation going on. Anthony, thank you for the happy birthdays, my man. I bought you a vacation with Tyreek Hill, Xavian Howard, and Jimmy Johnson. A weekend bender in Vegas. Will you survive? No, I will die. I will die being with that trio. Big O, back in the day, eating a skirt steak had a totally different meaning. Ba-boom. Oh, man. I got hit by a joint and feel queasy, but I'm having a steak now. That's it. Okay. Gotta have. Oh, wait a minute. There we go. Gotta have the steak. Oh, I can have him wear the Bitcoin hat too. There you go. There you go. Tua's got the Bitcoin hat on. How about that? It's beautiful. Now this guy, he didn't believe in that. He didn't eat any steak. Not at all. No steaks for Jay. He was ready to go. Pat in Nashville, Mrs. O letting her class watch the show today. Surprise. Oh, that's funny. She never finds out about anything I say on the show, dude. Never. And it's funny because one of her bosses watches the show religiously. The principal. But I guess he doesn't really tell her about all the things I do say. Anyway, what else? Big O, when you were a media guy, did you ever talk to Marino backup Scott Mitchell? LOL. It's so funny how we never really talked to the backup. We never, ever talked to the backup. The only time you talked to the backup was when they got elevated. Or they came into the game because the starter got injured, and then after the game, you talked to the backup. That's it. But the third guy's never even available. And nobody ever wants to talk to the third guy. Like you walk up to a media relations and say, yeah, I want to talk to the third guy. They're going to look at you. Why? No, there's no reason. Now, unless you're doing a personal piece that, a human interest story that maybe he's coming back from some terrible surgery, injury, or he overcame something or whatever. He's a record breaker and there's some kind of personal interest story. They'll give you access to the guy so you can do your interview, and they'll watch you to make sure that you're not trying to do anything, but the Browns, by doing that, just shows me who they are. That's all. I've been around long enough and I've done it all. And by the way, I'm still a media guy. Okay. I just don't take advantage of it as much as others because I don't feel like it because I've done it all already. It's not a big deal for me to be at a game or a camp or anything like that. When you've done it as long as I have, it's just, and for what I do, it's way more convenient to do it on television. I get to see more. I get to see all the interviews anyway. So, not a big deal, dude. Bag on Head says, steak keeps your brain healthy. I think we can safely say McDaniel's a vegetarian. That is awesome. Yeah, that's it. Tua's going to be a steak for Halloween. He's going to walk around like a pork chop. I like that. By the way, we are climbing again. So let's see. We're at 119,644. So I think we're trying to make that push for 120 right now. Could be happening any second. By the way, second little crypto thing, because the other one came in by surprise at the beginning when somebody asked about money and Bitcoin and all that. But Bitcoin obviously trying to make its way to 120,000. I want to remind you about some of the things that are going on in the world. Credit card delinquencies have climbed to its highest level in 14 years. So it's sometimes when people talk about the economy, it's not as strong as you may think when a lot of people are charging a lot of that stuff and they may not be able to pay it because delinquencies are going through the roof. Bitcoin ETFs bought 675 million yesterday. Okay. You got JP Morgan now predicting that Bitcoin will be 165,000 by the end of the year, and Citibank predicting 180. It's funny, JP Morgan and Citibank were shitting all over Bitcoin and crypto for many years, and how they've all changed their tune. By the way, U.S. Bitcoin mining companies have hit a record milestone in market value. Now there are 14 publicly trading mining companies. They have reached 56 billion now here in September. It's the first time they exceed 50 billion. I mean, I can only give you the news and tell you what's going on, and then it's up to you to decide whatever you think is right. R&M Contractors and Custom Drywall, bro, they know how to get it done. Complete remodel, kitchen upgrades, appliances, waterproofing, They do it all, dude. Waterproofing your terrace, your balcony. This is great for homes that are 2 floors or condos, of course. Bathroom upgrades, floor restoration. Give them a ring, 305-345-3649. Call my guy Ray or Mike. They will take care of you. And go to the Instagram page so they can blow you away with the Instagram page, RMC Fisher Island. You will see amazing work there. Amazing work. All right. What else? Let me do a little music too. Let me get a little music out of the way. Big O, a hot dog might prevent a concussion unless you hit your head on the toilet throwing up that many times. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. The hot dog is, the hot dog definitely will make you experience something. From Dairy Queen, by the way. Let's not also, you got to make sure we put Dairy Queen hot dog because, not all dogs are the same. Because when I go see a Dodgers game, okay, every time that I go to LA, I try to make it out if it's baseball season. I try to go to a Dodgers game because I love feeling like I'm at a real ballpark with like a real atmosphere and all that. And to me, Dodger Stadium is heaven. It is so perfect. It's just, we really can't top it, to be quite honest. But anyway, I haven't been to all the ballparks, but I'm just telling you, Dodger Stadium is amazing. It's not something I can get here. So the Dodger dog, I always have one, and it's awesome. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's start off with musicians born on this date, October 2nd. Let's see what kind of a list we've got today. Tiffany, the pop singer, born in 1971. Sigtragur Baldusarin. It's really tough, man. He's Icelandic, so those names are tough, but he's from the Sugar Cubes. He's the drummer, born in 1962. That's the band that Bjork was in before she went solo, the Sugar Cubes. Robbie Neville, C'est la vie, born in 1961 on this date. Al Connolly, Don't Forget Me When I'm Gone. He's from the Canadian rock band Glass Tiger. Freddie Jackson, You Are My Lady. Born in 1956, Freddie Jackson. Freddie's also in The King of New York. He does a little cameo there. Phil Oakey, singer-songwriter with the Human League. Born in 1955. Don't you want me, baby? My favorite song is The Lebanon. And who have gone since the soldiers have gone from the Lebanon. I love that song. Sting. Gordon Summer, born in 1951 from the Police. Mike Rutherford, co-founder of Genesis, born in 1950. It's a pretty good list, man. Don McLean, my Miss American Pie, drove my Chevy to the levee, born in 1945. Let's see. And that is it for musicians on this list. You never know, that last one could have a couple. Now let's go with other famous people born on this day. Remember, if I don't give you a year, that means they are no longer with us. Like England's King Richard III, he was born in 1452 on this date. Groucho Marx, born in 1890 on this date. We just lost him. I was hanging out with him a couple of months ago. Let's see who else. Fashion designer Donna Karan, born in 48. She is 77 today. Photographer Annie Leibovitz, born in 49. She is 76. Lorraine Bracco, born in 54. She is 71. I have a promo of Lorraine Bracco. Hello, Big O. TV personality, actress Kelly Ripa. Does Kelly Ripa weigh 45 or 47 pounds? Anyway, she was born in 70 and she's 55. She now is older than her weight. It's pretty amazing for Kelly Ripa to be older than your weight. That's impressive. Jim Root from Slipknot. That wasn't on that list. 71, 54. Let's see who else. Celebrating birthdays. Camille Bell, born in 86. She's 39. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers born on this date, sir?
Yes, sir, we do. Paul Bosch was born on this date in 1912. Yokozuna was born on this date in 1966. Laney Reed turns 27, and the great Sky Blue is 26 on October 2nd, 2025.
All right. I like it. I like it. We're going to 119,798, 119,800. I think this is it right here. This is it right here. I think we're about to make the push into 120. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. All right, let's go to music history. Maybe we're at 120 right when we're done with music history. All right, here we go. There we go. Let me put it up there at the same time. All right, what happened today on October 2nd in music history? In 65, the McCoys were number one on the U.S. singles charts with Hang On, Sloopy. Let's see. In 70, Pink Floyd released their fourth studio album, Adam Hart Mother, in the UK. It became their first number one album in that territory. In 81, the Police released their fourth studio album, and my favorite of all Police albums, Ghost in the Machine. It features the singles Invisible Sun, wow, Every Little Thing She Does Is Magic, Spirits in the Material World, and Secret Journey. It's just a great album. I love Ghost in the Machine, my favorite album. In 82, Jack and Diane, a little ditty about two American kids growing up in the hot land, by John Cougar, broke out in 1982 on this date. In 83, Welsh singer Bonnie Tyler was number one on the U.S. singles charts with A Total Eclipse of the Heart. I don't know. She's got that rough voice. I can't do it. Anyway, so it was the biggest hit of her career. She does have another, It's a Heartache, Nothing But a Heartache. That is Bonnie Tyler also. Born in 83. Let's see who else. Celebrating birthdays today. Not birthdays, just stuff today. In 87, Terrence Trent D'Arby released his debut studio album, Introducing the Hardline, according to Terrence Trent D'Arby. It features the singles If You Let Me Stay, Wishing Well, Dance Little Sister, Don't Give Up Today, Hang On Till Tomorrow, something like that. Dance Little Sister is my favorite song from that album. And Sign Your Name Across My Heart, I want you to be my baby. But Dance Little Sister, I love that song. The Heat Dancers used to dance to that song back in the first couple of years of the franchise. What else? In 97, Juanita L. Evans filed a suit against Wu-Tang Clan members RZA and Method Man and rapper Redman and a Pennsylvania university and its student government. Evans claimed that she was distracted by Redman and therefore did not see Method Man when he leaped off stage and landed on her. Evans was knocked unconscious. The method to the madness is crazy. That's all I can tell you. In 2000, Radiohead released their fourth studio album, Kid A, the highly anticipated follow-up to their acclaimed 97 album, OK Computer. Issued with no videos or singles, it baffled many listeners, but still went to number one in many territories, including the US and the UK. That's why I had Radiohead in there for a halftime, for the Super Bowl halftime. That's why I went Morgan Wallen and Radiohead as one of my 4. Remember earlier in the week, because, the Bad Bunny thing is stupid. It's just, it has no vision to put him on Super Bowl because it doesn't reach as many people. So for those of you just tuning in, I threw out first Dua Lipa and Teddy Swims. It's a much better than Bad Bunny. Imagine Dragons and Janelle Monáe combination, way better than Bad Bunny. Lady Gaga and 21 Pilots. I mean, you think about the music and the collaboration between those two would be pretty freaking awesome. And then I went like a little rockish and countryish and all that, and I went with Morgan Wallen and Radiohead. Not that Radiohead would do this, because the kind of shit that you just saw from them, but they have an audience, dude. They are worldwide, man. They are bigger than, I think people don't realize how much Radiohead is loved around the world. So, I threw those out. I mean, listen, if the people in the Super Bowl ever really want to like bring somebody to consult them about like what to really do, how to reach the most people possible musically, give me a ring, dude. I can help your short-sighted ass who you pick Bad Bunny. And I know it's good for a certain section of people, but you're going to leave out a ton of people that won't give 3 flying Fs about Bad Bunny. You put Teddy Swims, you put Dua Lipa and Teddy Swims, everybody will watch. Everybody will watch. Those are super talents. But hey, what can I tell you? In 2002, Adam Mann escaped a prison sentence after a judge ruled that an incident in which he threatened drinkers with a replica pistol in a London pub was a result of mental illness. And yes, Adam Mann has had some mental illness issues. In 2007, Soulja Boy, released his debut studio album, Soulja Boy Tellin'em.com, and it features the singles Crank That Soulja Boy, Soulja Girl, and Dunk. In 2009, Mumford & Sons released their debut studio album, Sign No More, and it featured Little Lion Man, Winter Winds, The Cave, Roll Away Your Stone. In 2017, Tom Petty, 66, went into cardiac arrest in his Malibu home. Later that night, after his friends and family gathered, he was taken off life support. I saw him 2 months before he passed away in Rolling Hills in Brooklyn with Peter Wolf from Jay Giles opening up. And then 2 months later, he passed away. I got to see Tom Petty 3 times, I think, in concert. What else going on? All right, let's see if we have any musicians that I did not mention in the other list. Sometimes that happens. Nope. Oh, Brittany Howard, lead singer of Alabama Shakes. There you go. Born on this date. Okay. Happy birthday. And that's what happened today in music history. We are at 119,784 right now. Gaga and 21 Pilots is an interesting idea. Hey, bro. You know. Bugs Bunny and John Williams. Now, that's a better combination. Thank you, Chad, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it, sir. Noel Dow says, Sky Blue, she has curves in the right places. Camille Bell, what a baddie. Born in the 90s. Frankie says, I'm going to lunch and order some steak, baby. I need to prevent concussions from happening to me. Hey, Frankie? Dr. Tua has spoken. So, Dr. Tua has spoken, and Frankie, you would be an idiot not to follow Dr. Tua's advice. That's all. You got to have steak. I don't want a concussion either. So, yeah. Carbs, just carbs. Carbs in general will save you from concussions, will protect you from concussions. I've never heard of sillier shit in my life. Seriously. I've never heard of sillier shit in my life. Dairy Queen has hot dogs. No, I didn't go to Smith & Lewinsky. And the only reason I would have gone to that one is because it's right on South Beach. It has the whole thing. But, I just threw it out. I'm so glad I went to this Malbec Grill. I will go back there. And it's all the way in Parkland, which is a long-ass drive. But I will go again. Good place, man. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the food. And my daughter loved the lobster ravioli. And my daughter is picky, dude. She cooks, and she cooks well. So when we go to places, she's become kind of a snob, and she was impressed. So I'll give her the props instead of me. She knows food better than I do already because she knows how to cook it. I don't know how to cook it. I'm like Mike McDaniel. I can have all the ingredients, but I won't know how to put it all together. I don't know. Shot, are you a cooker, or can you put shit together, or because I think you've been known to barbecue or stuff like that, but are you you have any chef skills?
I stick with barbecue, and I make a pretty mean lasagna.
Okay, my daughter does too. Do you make the pasta fresh? No.
Let's not go crazy. I don't have time to make the pasta.
It's freaking amazing, dude. She makes the pasta fresh. Fresh. She will not make pasta if it's not fresh. And I gotta say, there's a huge difference. You taste it, dude. You taste when someone makes fresh pasta. Oh my God, it tastes so much better. Yeah, crazy stuff, dude. AC/DC would be the perfect halftime show for the Super Bowl. Edward Thurston Howe, selfishly, I'm a metalhead. I would love that. But, I'm trying to think of for everybody and all that kind of stuff. And although, Highway to Hell or Back in Black, and, you could play some of a couple of the really popular tunes that everybody knows, Thunderstruck and all that, and you could probably get away with it because a lot of the AC/DC songs are heard in sports arenas and stadiums all over the world. So you're right. It's a great selection. I love it. But I took my bias out, if you notice. I did not include metal and hard rock and all that as much as I love it. I wanted to be objective and try to find, and I went as far as Radiohead with Morgan Wallen. And I only did that because Radiohead would be so rare. It would be so special because if you know anything about Radiohead, their following is ridiculous, but you also know they don't really do that kind of stuff. So it would be super special. And Morgan Wallen is, dude, he's a monster. So, I think it would be, and he's got an edge to his country. So I kind of would be, what the hell? So I went a little bit off the beaten path on that one. But I left my bias out. I left my U2 out. They've already been there. And then I left a lot of the rock and the classic rock and the metal because, I didn't want people, okay, yeah, O's a metal and a rock head, and no wonder he's picking Kiss and AC/DC and the Scorpions and this and that or whatever. Metallica, which Metallica I would love also, but I get it. So I went the other way and tried to show a little variety and at the same time reach as many people as possible. Okay. Well, we might as well do it together, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, right? It's all about doing it together. Let's do it together. Together. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Come on. You want 120? You want 120? It's going to happen right down here. By the way, you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo on the celebration of breaking 120, because you know we're going to break 120. I promised you we're going to break 120. And here we are. Here we are. Here we are. 950. There we are. There we are. Even 120 with 2 pennies, baby. Oh, the team that never fails me. The team that never fails me. I wish the Dolphins were like Bitcoin. What can I tell you? What can I tell you right there? Huh? I ask and I receive. It's a beautiful thing, man. Now all I need is a steak and I will avoid concussions. It's awesome. 120. All right, we thank Ira Schofel. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank all of you for tuning in. If you sent in a donation, thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat or anything else, we appreciate you. Hit the like button before we go. Hit the like button whenever you're watching. We appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 10. Manny Navarro will join us. David Furones will join us. And maybe 125 will join us. Maybe a record day tomorrow on Bitcoin to close out Friday. We'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the